Turn her up, I'm hearing. We'll try it here. Is that any better? A little better?
Good. That's good, yeah.
Okay, great. Hello, everybody. My name is Stephen Grant, President of Landmark Society of Greater Utica. And tonight we're going to learn some history about a cemetery. But before that, we'll tell you about next week. We're going to be at the Grace Episcopal Church downtown, corner of Genesee Street and Elizabeth Street. Park on the street, and then meet right in front of the church. Reminder, we got the bus trip coming up.
Yes.
Just a few spaces left.
Yes.
A couple seats, 2 or 3 seats.
Yes. For those who haven't heard, we're having a bus trip on July 20th to Buffalo to see Frank Lloyd Wright's masterpieces, and there are only a few seats left. So if you have any interest at all, let me know. It's $175 per person. That includes a 2-hour tour of the Martin House complex, a 90-minute tour of Great Cliff, which was the Martin summer house. It includes a view of the Fontana Boathouse, which was designed by Frank Lloyd Wright but never built until a few years ago, right on the banks of Lake Erie, and also the Blue Sky Mausoleum, which again was designed by Frank Lloyd Wright for the Martin family, but was never realized until several years ago. And dinner is included in that. That will be at the Golden Corral in Rochester. So it's a full day. It's going to be a great day, and if you have any interest at all, it's $175 per person again, and it's July 20th, Saturday, July 20th. So come see me afterwards, because as I say, there's only a few seats left. Thank you.
Okay. Penny has our donation jar, so if anyone would like to donate, right over here. We have membership brochures. Yep, we got a few of those, so if you're thinking about becoming a member, please do so. All the money goes to the restoration effort down at Rector Park. And with that, we're going to turn it over to Sue Lorraine. Sue?
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm Sue Lorraine, and there are 397 cemeteries in Oneida County, and I have not been to about 20.
Oh.
And I've been working at this since 1997-98. So it was 1999, 25 years ago, when I first came into this one. And what I do, I'm with a group called the Association for Gravestone Studies. They started in the 70s. And what I do is go through these outdoor art museums and explain the artwork, the epitaphs, the study of gravestones themselves, and then I give talks to groups and tours to let people know what each cemetery has to offer. Because we are at a stage where things like the symbolism, like a willow, what does that mean? And people are losing a biblical connection. Most of these are from the Bible. And I've started to go to other cemetery tours, and how they interpret things is just made up. That's all I can say. So I love to do this, and now we've got a big crowd, and you do need to see things. But the wonderful thing about this cemetery is there's a man who has been cleaning it. And so all these stones, I mean, if this was sunshine, this would be brilliant white.
Oh.
And so we've got to take advantage of, here we are, where you can finally easily see epitaphs and symbols and the care and creativity that has gone into this, which we'll explain a little more as we go along. So something like this is a common picture on a cemetery gravestone, but they're carvers. There are people who are called carvers who would have had a shop, and they would do certain types of gravestones. And in the Gravestone Studies group, they'll look for these carvers and say, oh, here's this job by this guy. And I don't know how to do that, but I've been able to trace it a little bit in Oneida County, but I don't think we've had a really good study of that. But at the end of the tour, you're going to get a glimpse, and all of you will be able to trace a certain carver. Feel good about that. So we're going to the next, follow me. We cannot dawdle.
Can we do this?
These two stones are really special. So you've got to be able to see these two stones. Oh, can you read that? Can you read that epitaph? Yeah. Why don't you?
For 30 years.
For 30 years, his reason has been dethroned. I've never seen it before. My mind just keeps running this one over. And we've all had experience with people with dementia. And just the phrasing of that, just a very unique epitaph. And the personal one is made especially for this person. Over here, this is in the county. This is a very unique stone. The bottom of the epitaph is that this man, Mr. Chapin, died in the burning of the falling down of a chimney in the factory and mill in New Hartford. Very rarely do you see a gravestone that mentions what someone died from, specifically. And I can only come up with about six, other than military, where it might say died in a certain battle. Of the six that I can recall, 4 of them are about an accident at the mills. And you can hear the anger in the epitaph. You can see that they want to make sure that this goes on the gravestone. And you can see them restraining their anger and frustration. But they make sure that epitaph is on there. It's wording, so they hire somebody to write in very clear lettering. And this particular one, they've made sure that they have the white sleeving. I love to see the figures. It's very rare. Not rare, but it's not common to see figures. And most of them are in a small area, and they're really funky. They look like Tim Burton characters. They're often very skinny to fit in the gravestone. But this one is done tastefully and elegantly. She's a large figure, and if it was clear or you were close, there's so much detail that this carver put in that the woman, she has little ruffles on her chest and on her neckline, and the carver even puts little dots that it's iris lace and little eyes. This is just a very unique stone. This is a willow, and you'll see around here, you might have seen it on the other one. They carve willow trees very different. Each one might be flat, spindly, decorative, whatever. You'll see all kinds as you go through here. But this is, these two together, these are just gems. And because the cemetery is so well taken care of and clean, we can see these. And you know how everybody is they drive along here and they're very curious about this place. When I came in 25 years ago, it was just solid wash that you couldn't get through. And I knew there was something special, but you couldn't really tell, and I never felt welcome in here. You didn't know, it wasn't really an entrance. And I would follow that through the years, wishing I could get back in. I only was here 3 times, but I always knew there was some special stuff here, and this is one of them. And you're very fortunate to see this. Now we're going to go a little bit careful with step. I'm going to go through this easiest one first. Just clearing in here. Seems to be a thing. Yeah, I'll start with Now some of you are over by the lambs. This cemetery is loaded with babies and little kids that have passed away, and you might not be able to see it here, but there's lots of lambs, which comes from the Bible. God has always been
the shepherds.